Hello everybody, my name is Michael, and in today's video what we're going to be doing is something just a little bit different. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you some easy ways to upgrade your already pre-painted miniatures, give them a bit more life and a bit more wow factor on the table. And as you can see here, I've already got two miniatures. They're exactly the same, so this is going to be a perfect comparison. What we're going to do is we're going to take one of these miniatures and we're going to paint them up just slightly different. Now we're not giving it a complete overall paint job, it's just doing a few things to give it a little bit more vibrancy to make it different, especially if you've got a whole bunch of miniatures that are exactly the same. As you can see here, these miniatures are exactly the same. So just some other ways that you can use to enhance if you've got a bunch of these pre-painted miniatures and you just want to make them look different from one another. So I'm going to show you some easy ways to do that. So let's pick the worst out of the two here that we've got, and we're going to use that as our basis to paint us up. So let's get into it. Okay, so our first step here is what we're going to do is we're going to be changing the base coats. Like I said before, is I've picked the worst miniature out of the two that I think out of these pre-painted ones, and I chose this one especially since this one has such a glossy finish, especially on this backpack here. And as you can see, I'm immediately changing that color. I'm not worrying about priming or anything like that. Like I said, these are just quick and easy tips to make them immediately stand out on the table when you've got a whole bunch of the same miniatures and you just want to spend an hour or so just changing them slightly so not every single miniature looks exactly the same. And as you can see here, it's just a matter of coming in, grabbing a nice big bold area. So you could do this either with the skin or another part of the miniature, but I'm choosing the nice big backpack on here because I really didn't like that glossy finish it has on it, so I want to change that immediately. And as you can see, I'm going with a completely different color. Instead of our grayish blackish colors that we've got on here, I'm going straight in with a brown and immediately separating it out from what it once was. Okay, so continuing on with some of our base coats here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with some skeleton bone, and this nice big massive bone that this hill giant here is using as a weapon, I want to change to make it look a little bit more like actual bone. Maybe a bit hard to tell on camera, it might look okay on camera, but in person this thing is very yellow greenish color and it looks a little strange, so I wanted to make that more bone like. So going with, of course, a basic nice bone color that we've got here, just giving that a base coat over top, and then we'll of course progress it on to make it look a little bit more like an actual bone. Okay, so now we've got that bone looking a little bit nicer. What I'm going to do now is come into a little bit of extra detail, which is still coming into base coat, and that's this big netting that's holding his backpack together here. I'm coming in with a greyish color, you can see here, so I'm using a basalt grey here to paint this up and really get into that netting. This is going to take a little bit of time, of course, but it's going to really make the miniature pop out with that extra detail. And it's just a matter of coming along here and gliding across the edges here, using sort of the edge of my brush to really catch them, sort of like in a dry brushing motion, but don't worry too much if you get it where you don't want to. We can always come back in the end and just carefully pick out those other areas since we're still in the base coating stages. And as you can see now, it's immediately making a difference here and adding in some more vibrant colors to the piece and just changing it up just like how I said we wanted to, just to add that bit of difference into the model. Okay, so once we have that complete, what we're going to do now is come in with some hemp rope. You can use whatever color you want, of course, here. I'm using this to add in some more color to the backpack. As you can see, it's a nice big feature of the miniature, and I want to highlight that up, especially to add in that difference from the other miniature. Like, you probably couldn't even tell beforehand that there was these little patches on the backpack. There's actually a couple of them on the backpack that are sculpted onto the detail, which is just completely hidden by it being all one color, including the netting and everything like that. So just uplifting the sculpt, as you can see here, just by adding in a few things like that to really help punch it up, give it more detail, and add in that difference from the pre-painted stuff it is before, because sometimes pre-painted miniatures can actually have a nice sculpted detail into them. So this is a great way to bring them out and really enhance them on the tabletop. And another quick thing you can do to miniatures to separate them out when they're exactly the same as one another is I'm going to be just giving them a different color of hair. So as you can see, you've got a brown haircut, sort of basic, and I'm coming in with sort of a very light, so I'm using cavalry brown here, but compared to what our brown was before, it basically looks like red hair. So you can see that just adding in. You may want to change one from blonde or black, even go crazy colors like green and stuff like that. Just some simple things like that to really help enhance your pre-painted miniatures. And just especially, like I said, when you're fighting monsters that you have a whole bunch of these pre-painted miniatures where you're fighting a whole horde of them, just going around and changing a few colors like this can really make a big difference when you're on the table and you're trying to guess who's targeting who in combat, and you can really make a nice easy visual distinction just by adding in quick little details like this. And here we have our progress that we've done so far, and as you can see, there's an immediate difference just in these few steps that we've done. This is the one, of course, we painted up, and then our pre-painted one we had beforehand, and look at all the detail we've just added just by changing a few simple colors nice and quickly. And I'm just going to be showing you this through the processes that we go here with these nice quick and easy tips, and you can see there's an immediately different reaction between these two miniatures, and they immediately look different on the tabletop. But I'm going to show you a couple more tips as well. So moving on to our next tip, to add in even more detail onto the miniature as well with not too much extra time. Okay, so for my second tip, it's just a matter of adding washes, a nice easy step. Now you can do this step without changing the base coats like I have here, or even the way they are, just by giving a wash to a miniature itself. And it can immediately change the effect of a miniature very quickly and really make them stand out from one another. And as you can see here, it's just a matter of coming in with strong tone, which is a brown wash here. So a nice simple brown wash, and we're giving it a good wash all over the backpack and any brown areas on the miniature. Really getting into all those nooks and crannies and making sure that we're not pooling too much, because we don't want it to add in like how the other backpack on our pre-painted miniature has, where it's got a lot of that glossy sort of finish, and that is a lot of not being in control of where the wash is, because they sort of more dip it in or slap on a big heap rather than having it in a controlled way like we're doing here, which can really make a difference in the overall piece. And also, like I said before, I wanted to make that bone that he's carrying as a weapon a bit more realistic, and of course to do that I want to add a wash in there too. But rather than a brown wash, I'm coming in with a sepia tone wash, which is soft tone here. And as you can see, when applying that, it immediately makes it look more like a realistic bone. And just giving it, of course, a good overall wash, and making sure that we want to keep it away from the areas we don't want it to. We don't accidentally want that area to spill. So just practicing a bit of control and wicking up any excess if we need to here. And for the final wash I'm going to be adding here, what I'm going to be adding is actually a green wash, and this is going to be applied to the pants of our miniature. So this is somewhere that we haven't even base coated before, because like I said, you can add washes to any part of a pre-painted miniature, even if it's already pre-painted. And you can see the wash goes over here nice and smoothly, and I just wanted this green wash to help enrich the green color of his pants that he's wearing here. And like I said, you can do this without the miniature being painted, so if you just want to do some washing steps or just change the colors just subtly so you can tell on the tabletop that they look different from one another by adding in washes, this is a nice easy way you can do it. And like I'm showing you here, is that you can just easily apply it to an already pre-painted miniature anyway. It's just a matter of keeping control and making sure that wash doesn't go anywhere you don't want it to. And now with all our washes complete on the miniature, you can see that we've got some extra detail onto these pieces, especially in those recessed areas, and they really look a lot more realistic now, especially just over those nice simple base coats we've done. So a very little amount of time, the most of it is just waiting for the dry times on the miniatures to add in this effect, and it can really help boost those areas of the model. So now let's move on to our next tip here, where we can add some more detail to the piece. Okay, so our next tip for our pre-painted miniatures is to add some highlights to the piece, and this of course is using a nice bright color to hit those places where the sun would naturally hit in the edges of models to really help give them an extra punch, especially on the tabletop. It can really help from a distance make it look like lights hitting in there and add in some of that extra detail, especially since we've already applied some washes to the model. It can really be useful to help add highlights as well, to either bring back some of that original color or to boost the colors of certain areas. And as you can see here, I'm adding some green highlights to the pants, which we didn't base coat, we just added a wash and a highlight to now, and you can see we're immediately getting some nice good contrast and colors on here and really making these pants stand out on the piece. Okay, so while we're adding highlights to our model, of course I want to be coming back to that nice big piece of bone that our giant is wielding here, and coming in and highlighting that as well. Highlighting the edges that you can see, especially like face on and up towards the sun, like we want to be placing our highlights. So we want to be aiming for those sort of areas. I'm coming back, of course, with our original skeleton bone color to bring back in that detail and just try and make it look like a realistic bone that'd be catching in the sunlight. Okay, so adding in detail into another area we haven't touched yet, and this is going to be the skin. The skin itself, we want to be adding some highlights on, really helping punch this area up, especially since this model, maybe a little bit hard to see on camera, but this model has sort of like a muddy texture over it, and sort of like a wash has been basically placed, and in some areas it's cured in the wrong sort of places. Instead of in the recesses, it's cured in some of the highlighted areas. So that's why I want to come in with a highlight here and place it on to really help boost the area and make the model look a little bit cleaner overall, and just make it look a little bit more punchy, like we've got some nice areas to focus on the miniature. So that's why I'm coming through and picking out areas like the knuckles, the tops of the bones in structures that you can see here, like we've got a nice big muscly area that we want to help highlight up and really help add into those definitions, but avoiding areas like the shadows and the recesses. We just want to be aiming for those high points. Okay, so like I said, we're doing some highlights and details, so we're coming in with a detailed area here, and what we're going to be using is the straps around his body for his backpack here, and I'm going to come through with some brown here. I'm using burnt umber for this, which is a little bit lighter than the color that we've already got placed on it. And what we're going to do is come in with some highlights, just sort of picking out those edges, coming in with some scratches, making it look like it's got a little bit wear and tear. Probably very hard to see on camera since my burnt umber is very similar to the actual piece that's already painted here with the pre-painted miniature. But in person, you'll be able to notice it a lot more, so maybe even switch to a lighter color to even give that more of a punchier effect. And here's another little quick part of the model you can use to add in some extra detail that's usually completely missed on miniatures, especially pre-painted ones, is the little bits of stitching and little bits of fabric that's holding other bits together. As you can see here, they've got these patches that are attached to the pants that I painted beforehand, and they just have these little bits of stitching holding them together. Just picking out little details like this can immediately add to a wow factor onto the model and really make it look like you're adding in some of those extra bits of detail. And another one of those pieces of details, like the stitching, is things like fingernails and toenails and claws, stuff like that. Quite often are missed on pre-painted models. So if we can come in here, so it's me, I'm using a darker skin color to pull this off. In fact, I end up I'm pretty sure going with an even darker skin tone by the end of it, but you can get the idea anyway. Just picking out little areas like this to add in bits of detail and really help punch that model up. Like, it's had a lot more effort than what we're doing too, by just adding in these simple little tricks to the miniatures to make them look more detailed than they are and give them the proper paint job that they deserve. And then the one last area we're going to be doing here for our detailed work, and that's going to be the metallic areas, which is quite often, surprisingly I've noticed on pre-painted miniatures, a miss are things like belt buckles and little bits of dangling bits of metal. They'll usually do the big weapon on there, but they'll usually forget things like this, especially if the miniature like this one here, who doesn't actually have any metallic things on it, like it doesn't have a nice big metal sword or an axe or anything like that, and they completely miss out the metallic areas, which is just a big shame there. And you can really add in some extra bits of fanciness to the model just by painting in these little areas. So if you've got models that haven't got metallics painted, just quickly paint them up and it can immediately make a big difference. So let's see those comparisons and what we've done so far. And here's what we've done so far, and you can see immediately there's a huge difference in the quality of these models. And you see just these few tricks that we've used so far, we've immediately taken this level of pre-painted miniature quality way through the roof here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on to our final tip, and this is our nice big game changer one that's nice and easy and really help separate out pre-painted miniatures from miniatures that are painted up and really make a difference on the tabletop to how they can look when you're fighting a horde of monsters like these that are exactly the same. And here it is, everyone, the big tip that's going to really help uplift those models, and that's of course basing your models. And as you can see here, I've used some Mod Podge, and this here is a pre-made base mix. This is actually a train modeling kit mix that you use to scatter across the ground and place on things to give it a realistic looking scenery, and it works out great. And as you can see here, I've just applied the Mod Podge, grabbing now basing material here, whatever you want to be using, but you can use sand from your driveway, you can use texture paste, there's a lot of different types of things in here. And as you can see, this basing material, nice and simple, just sprinkle it on and it immediately gives you the effect of a nice put together base, like you spend a lot of time on it when you really didn't, and it really adds onto the miniature itself. And you can go all out with this, you can go even more bases. Like I said, you can add texture pastes and little bits of debris and stuff on there to really help set the scene, or you can just go as simple as I am here. I'm just trying to show you the nice simplest way to do it with minimal effort, so you can really help boost these pre-painted models up really quick and super easy. And with that basing done, we're going to do one more thing to really help elevate this to the next level and really give it some more dimensionality to the whole piece, and that is of course adding tufts. And as you can see here, I've got a bunch of different types of tufts, different styles. Don't just go with the same tuft here if you want to go for a realistic looking scenery. You want to add in a few different ones. And as you can see, when we're placing these on, it's going to immediately give that nice realistic effect. But you can add in other things, like you might want to add in snow flocking, you might add just flock itself to give a random sort of effect. I'm just going with the nice quick easy alternative option, and that is adding tufts to give that immediate effect and look of bringing that base to life. And you can see that it really stands out on the piece. And so now what we're going to do is, once we've added in these tufts, is I'm going to show you some glamour shots at the end of how our model came out and comparing it to how it was when we started by using that other one as a comparison. So let's check out those shots. And now taking a look back at our original pre-painted miniature that we had here, and now applying the techniques, you can see that we'll completely enhance this miniature from its usual pre-painted miniature status to our nice upscaled sort of tabletop quality technique here. And like I said before when we started this video, this is mainly for if we're adding on to other miniatures that we already have in a horde sort of situation. So you could use one or all of these techniques here to help boost up some miniatures, whether you have a whole squad of them of exactly the same and you want to separate them out when you're battling on the table, or just for your own enjoyment to really help add in these effects and really help bring those miniatures to the next level. So if you like what I do here, please subscribe and check out some of my other videos. But with all that said, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video.